singing goes against religions. You know, I always liked singing. كل عمري بحب أغني من وأنا بالمدرسة.
Do you find it fair for people with great voices?
But the whole thing was lip-synced, and I thought it's a shame, you know, like, but when they go out and perform, they go out with their messy, greasy hair, with a regular $5 t-shirt, إسلامية مثل طلع البدر علينا, which is also music and was communicated with music.
Hi Omar.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm excited صراحة for this episode.
وأنا كمان.
Okay عمر. So أنا usually بحب أخلي my guests يعرفوا عن حالهم فأطلق العنان.
Sure. أنا اسمي عمر شكري. I'm a singer from Jordan. I've been singing my whole life, but professionally in Jordan for the past 5 years. Oh yeah.
So إلك 5 سنين بالأردن بس طول عمرك عم بتغني.
كل عمري بحب أغني وكل عمري بغني بس to do things professionally. يعني I've been doing music professionally as a professional singer in Jordan since 2017. Okay, cool. طيب, when did you discover that you can actually sing? Wow, nice question. You know, I always liked singing. كل عمري بحب أغني من وأنا بالمدرسة, وكنت أشترك بكل نشاطات المدرسة زي talent shows. كنت أشترك ما بعرف open days, anything that the school used to organize.
أي شيء فيه تروح.
أي شيء, أي فرصة عندي أكون on stage I'd be on stage. فكل عمري بحب هذا الموضوع. وبتذكر I was chosen to perform بتخريج المدرسة. I think that was the first time I sang in front of a really big crowd.
And guess who stalked you and saw this video?
Oh no. That was ages ago, by the way.
قبل ما أعمل الأسئلة I was like, let me see.
هاي المشكلة بتعرف, by the way, إنه that video from 12 years ago, anytime anyone wants to book me for a show, they look me up on YouTube وبطلع لهم هذا الفيديو.
But it's good.
It's great, بس بحطوني تحت خانة إنه أوكي إنه جوش جروبن وغناء أوبرالي وهاي الجونرا بالضبط, فبنحط بخانة من وراء هذا الفيديو.
What genre do you prefer?
I like to think of myself as as a free artist, free-spirited artist.
You sing everything.
Yeah, I'm eclectic. You know, my taste is eclectic. The sort of music I do is eclectic. وبحب أسمي الشو تاعي إنه a variety show, لأنه جد بحس اللي بيجي بيحضرني بيكون maybe عنده expectation معين عن what sort of music I do. Maybe they saw a video of me on social media, بركي شافوني على YouTube. بس لما يجوا يحضروا اللايف show,
they see something different.
Yeah, they see a really big range of different things, different genres, different sorts of sound, different energies throughout the show. I like to take it up وبعدين bring it back down a notch. يعني I play around.
I've seen that firsthand. You're an amazing singer صراحة. عمر يا جماعة لما يغني it's a journey, فاهم إنه خلص when he starts singing أنت بتطلع وبتنزل معه بالbeats. you get in the mood بطريقة كتير حلوة عن جد.
Thank you so much.
طيب, so now you're only singing for a living?
Not really, actually. So what I did, I studied architecture لما طلعت من المدرسة. So I did that for 4 years بإدنبرا بسكوتلاند. وأنا بإدنبرا I took part ب something called the university's jazz orchestra. It was a student society كله طلاب الجامعة, وكلياتهم كانوا بيلعبوا different instruments, بس أكثريتهم آلات نفخ. فكان في a very big orchestra of almost 30 plus students. I used to sing lead with them. فتأسست خلينا نقول in jazz music and singing jazz أيام الجامعة. فلما تخرجت ورجعت على عمان لأول كم من سنة ما كنتش عارف عن المشهد الموسيقي المحلي. I never knew أصلاً إنه كان في music scene, وما عمري حضرت ناس live in local gigs. For a couple of years I was doing architecture, which is what I studied. I was also freelancing in graphic design.
Mixture of everything.
بالضبط. واسمع, music came into the picture. I was like, that's it.
Yeah, I know.
One of them has to go. I still do graphics. يعني I still freelance in graphic design, but I also do music.
Can you rely on music financially?
The golden question. If you can, for sure, but it's a risk, obviously, as is the case with almost any career you go into. في risk كبير لأنه music and art is subjective إجمالا. And you never know if what you're doing is going to be accepted or loved by people. In turn, you never know if it's something you can rely on entirely as a career financially. يعني أنا so far it's going well. It's going all right. I can sustain myself. بس برضو برضو I'm glad to have graphic design in the picture to fall back on as well.
طب إيش ال sources of income for someone who wants to sing؟ يعني هلا حدا قرر بده يطلع يغني. From where should he expect to make money?
Interesting. It also depends on what sort of an artist that person wants to be. يعني some people are original music artists who that is a very great lane to make money, but it's also a very challenging lane to make money because you need to be a popular artist. People need to purchase your music or stream your music for you to get financial gain from that. There's that lane. Well, there's also the lane of live music. So if you're a musician, not necessarily only a singer, if you play any instruments, you perform, you do live gigs, you do live concerts, you practice enough عشان تصير تقدر تلعب live. برضو موضوع اللايف ميوزك إذا بيضل الواحد يكبر ويصير مثلا a regional musician where they play with different artists around the region for live shows وبنطلبوا, it's also a great form of income. It depends on what you want as a musician, I guess.
Okay, طب what does your family think of you as a musician? ما طلعت دكتور, ما طلعت مهندس, how dare you?
How dare me?
You're singing.
لا they've always been very very supportive of me. وحتى من قبل ما أفوت على الجامعة أبوي بالذات حكى لنا إنه أنا وإخواني إنه study whatever you want بأي جامعة ما بدكم, إنه they're going to have nothing to do with our choices and they will support us all the way. So I'm very lucky to know إنه أهلي are very supportive of me and my choices, لأنه بعرف إنه that's not the case for a lot of people بالذات عنا بالبلد. زي ما قلت موضوع إنه مهندس ولا دكتور ولا محامي, يعني these are big titles and it's awesome to have them, but also إنه I feel like إنه هذا الpressure من الأهل is very counterproductive مع الأولاد, you know. فالحمد لله my parents are very supportive. بس أنا for some reason بحس إنه I was never comfortable enough to admit that I wanted a career in music, and that's why I wanted to go do architecture. And I was like, okay, I'll do that, and if one day I finish and get that degree and that piece of paper that says إني تخرجت بشهادة, then I'll start to يعني experiment and try different things, and that's what I did.
And you did not want to admit مثلا أو ما كان بدك يكون عندك career بس in music. Is it because of fear ولا confidence ولا what was it?
شوف, in terms of confidence, I was always, يعني, I mean, I say this very humbly, but I was always quite confident with my no جد, and I was always very comfortable being on stage, very comfortable sharing my talents. It was never a matter of that, but it was more so a matter of feeling judged because of choosing a career in music. يعني, you know, and I graduated with a class of 105 students, وكان في challenge كبير وcompetition كبيرة بمين بيروح على أي جامعات وإيش الميجرز. For some reason, it's really sad إنه هذا هو واقعنا, but for some reason I was never confident enough to admit إنه I want to pursue a career in music. There was always that thought إنه it will never happen, I'll never grow big. You know, I always had these doubts من أنا بالمدرسة, so that's why I never went for it in terms of pursuing a career in music. بس بعد ما خلصت جامعة كتير تغيرت الأمور, وضحت الأمور أكتر, وموضوع الميوزك سين صار أوضح بالنسبة لي وتعمقت فيه أكتر. Now I'm very proud to say I do music.
Do you rather live performances ولا other streams of doing music?
I love all forms of doing music صراحة, but for some reason there's something that happens when I'm on stage. I can't explain it, زي كأني بفصل أو خلاص إنه في switch بيكون موجود وجد بطفي, and it's me and the music and the musicians and the crowd and the connection and the energy. I love, don't get me wrong, I love being in studio, I love experimenting, I love doing vocal takes or vocal layering, all that stuff that making music entails, but being on stage is يعني the happiest you would ever find me.
طب, who is your idol?
Nice question. I have so many idols صراحة. But when it comes to live music, خلينا نقول who's my favorite live performer. In terms of live vocals, the best live vocalist بالنسبة لي of all time is Whitney Houston. I used to listen to Whitney over and over and listen to her different live performances, her vocal technique, her يعني the different textures اللي بصوتها, her energy when she performs, her connection with the audience, her command of the musicians. She is incomparable بالنسبة لي. She is the voice يعني بالنسبة لي, she is the voice. I definitely put her up there.
أنت حطيت حالك بتراب هلا.
Oop.
Yeah, you did. So technically now we have game.
Okay.
literally اطربنا بصوتك. ف you're gonna sing with me. Like ما في شيء خلص. أنت حطيت حالك in this trap. ف please اطربنا بصوتك.
You're putting me on the spot.
يلا. That's the plan.
A few stolen moments is all that we share. You've got your family and they need you there. Though I try to resist being last on your list, but no other man's gonna do. So I'm saving all my love for you.
You're amazing, man. You're amazing. عن جد. I hope that the microphone will transfer الصوت زي ما I can hear it هون. What do you think of autotune?
شوف, genuinely speaking, I really think it's a useful tool, okay? When used correctly, it can really elevate the musical experience for the listener. When it becomes a tool that is essential for someone to perform so as to fix نقول ال vocal performance تاع الشخص, then I'm not a big fan of auto-tuning, you know? If it's there for the effect that it creates, or if it snaps a few notes for a vocal effect, فخم. But when it's used to make up for weak singing, I'm not the biggest fan of it صراحة.
And you know how lately we can, يعني لما نسمع الأغاني اللي عم تنزل lately alternative music especially, we see كمية الauto-tune هلا هم they say إنها مقصودة تكون
Okay.
intentional. But like, do you find it comfortable? Do you find it fair for people with great voices يكون في هذا الcomparison?
شوف أقول لك شغلة, أنا يعني we can't keep battling the technological advancement of music production. Naturally, these are all tools that people use nowadays with music production, زي auto-tuning والnote snapping والتصليحات هاي اللي بتصير بالvocals. It's definitely a useful tool. وما بنقدر نضل نقول انه شوف ايام زمان الارتست كيف كانوا يغنوا بدون اوتو تيون وكيف اصواتهم. الصراحه يعني it is deep down I do have that opinion اكيد when I look at original live music performances وبتشوف الskill والconfidence تاعون these artists to sing without any form of note snapping or tuning. It's really impressive. Then again يعني it's a choice at the end of the day. I respect it.
أكيد. Okay. Do you think physical appearance is important when it comes to voices? Or at least do you think it does have an effect? يعني أنا as a listener, do you think my opinion will be shifted based on the physical appearance of the performer?
Nice question.
You wanted to go deep, man.
I love it. No, go ahead, relax. It's يعني شوف the aesthetic that comes with an artist is nowadays, whether we like it or not, when we are watching artists or musicians, you're looking for an entire package. You're looking for the whole aesthetic of that artist. Sometimes the physical appearance is not really something that the artist bothers about, and that's also part of their aesthetic. يعني عندك artists عالميين that are huge and have #1 songs on the radio, but when they go out and perform, they go out with their messy, greasy hair, with a regular $5 t-shirt, with a guitar, and stand in front of 20,000 people, and people go crazy for that. You also have other artists that blow huge budgets on
جماعة الجلام team.
Oh yeah, 100%. يعني blow huge budgets on choreography, on pyrotechnics, live music, on يعني you know lights, staging, effects, special effects. It's incredible. بس it's a completely different kind of artist. I think it's subjective. It depends on the listener. يعني different listeners look for different things when they watch music. عرفت? When you open YouTube, some people like to watch something really extravagant and fun. Other people just like to hear a nice voice with an acoustic guitar.
هي بس preference الموضوع.
It's preference, I guess, depending on the person.
Do you consider rappers and hip-hoppers as real talents when it comes to the voice matter?
Absolutely. Of course. Yani it's a very... شوف, a lot of people, when it comes to the hip-hop industry, which I'm very inspired by, and most of the podcasts I listen to actually are podcasts that discuss hip-hop.
Okay.
It's really interesting to hear these conversations that people have about hip-hop artists, and it's very often judged on the person's ability to write or ability to communicate their thoughts and their pen. That's what they call it in the hip-hop industry. But also you will notice in some artists that convey their raps or their words with characters and different alter egos and different that are very animated when they perform. زي Kendrick Lamar, زي Nicki Minaj, زي Eminem. These artists.
Do you like those?
I like them, to be honest. I think they're great. No. Do you? Yeah, not the biggest.
Rap is not for me. No,
it's
no,
not?
No.
No, I love hip hop and rap.
I don't know. Basically, they're just speaking in a fast way. Like, in my opinion,
right.
I might like the lyrics. I might enjoy the lyrics, but do I personally consider them as talents in the matter of voice, of singing? No. Sorry.
Fair enough.
No. Not today.
Fair enough.
Okay. What do you think of people who stop singing because of religion?
Oof.
Do you actually see in religion ممكن يكون إنه can you see that singing is forbidden in religion or it's a sin one way or another?
شوف, I'm a very firm believer of respecting people and respecting people's opinions, and a healthy debate and a healthy conversation is always great. So I would love to debate with someone who believes that singing goes against religions. But I also would like to point out that in the history of religions, all different sorts of religions, music and sonics have always been a big part of that to many people. Yani when you look at some churches in the United States and how they communicate their prayers through music and singing, it's so beautiful, you know. And even when we think about مثلا I'm a Muslim, and when I think about my religion and I try to make excuses for why I make music, when you look at the history of religion, في أغاني إسلامية مثل طلع البدر علينا, which is also music and was communicated with music and was never looked at as
maybe
blasphemy.
It's the lyrics that might be the problem, or the conveyed message.
I guess to each their own, you know. It's what you make with what people are communicating with their music. I believe in freedom of speech. I believe in freedom of expression. And if you feel you want to express yourself through music and it doesn't really suit certain people, then that's on them. It's a them problem, not a you problem.
And if you feel like your music is against your religion مثلا or something, feel free, come on, to...
Absolutely, communicate that. Let's have a healthy debate. I'd love it.
Okay. What do you think of lip-syncing?
I love these questions. They're very challenging for me to answer. I hate lip syncing, to be very frank. I hate
even though if it was like reasonable, like if you reason إنه في performance عم بصير فإنه Shakira had to lip sync because نفسها رح ينقطع if she kept on singing the whole time while she's like belly dancing. Still no.
No, to be honest, I understand it. Like, especially when it comes to showmanship, if someone is performing and, you know, they're putting on a show and they're doing somersaults and dancing and flipping in the air, I understand it. And I understand that you can't do everything. But I also really, really, really appreciate it when actual pop musicians that put on a very big live show do sing live. For instance, Pink.
But like, can you imagine like all what the fans will be hearing is and like her hair is just tapping into the microphone like for absolutely no reason. Like
there is that, but there's also people who really work on their craft and practice day and night to be able to sing.
Can
and
you actually
name some people like that? Beyonce. Okay. Beyonce used to, this is something I heard on an interview once, that she used to wear heels and run on a treadmill and sing so as to practice. Her father used to make her do that. This is the rumor. I'm not sure it's entirely true. But she used to run on a treadmill and sing so as to improve her stamina while singing and performing. Or look at someone like Pink. Pink does aerobics. Not aerobics. She does, she flips through the air and does all these crazy acrobat skills while she's singing. And that mic is always on and she's singing live and it's incredible. So I appreciate that.
Can you name someone who lip sync? It was so easy for you to appreciate some people, but let's see, can you actually name people who...
I can name so many people that lip sync.
One name.
Oh dear, why do you want to do this? I'm gonna get so much
So
hate.
I can call the fans Omar Shukri here.
Omar said it. I'd rather not name people, but actually just last night I was going into the kitchen to make some tea and I saw my mom watching television. There was an Arabic talk show and there was a big superstar on the show who was singing all her tracks all throughout different segments of the show, and they're not songs that required dancing or showmanship, but the whole thing was lip synced, and I thought it's a shame, you know, like I would like to hear someone, even if I pay tickets to go see a show, I'd like to hear their live vocals, even if they're flawed, even if there's mistakes, that's fine, it's part of the performance, you know.
لوين حاب توصل عمر؟
The golden question again. يا سهر الليالي. يعني as far as I can go, and I've been working for the past year and a half تقريبا on original music مع producer بالنسبة لي. He's one of the most brilliant musicians, producers and minds in general that I've ever met. اسمه حمزة الساكت, for a shout out to Hamza if he hears this. So we've been working on original music together أنا وياه for the past year and a half. And I'm basically releasing this music as a rebrand of myself. So what I'm doing with this new project I'm working on with Hamza is I'm reintroducing myself as Shuks, so that's going to be my alias, SHUKX, Shuks. Hamza, the producer, goes by Lumi. So we're releasing music under Lumi and Shuks. A lot of the time people that attend my shows بتوقع أن هغني بالإنجليزي. But the surprises and all this original music I've been working on for the past 2 years is all in Arabic. It's my sound, it's my Western synth pop 80s inspired dance music, بس الكلام كله بالعربي. I'm really excited to share it.
You actually have a challenge now بورشة. Are you ready for it?
Sure.
يلا.
I'm not sure I am, but here we go.
يلا ورشة challenge.
Let's go.
يلا. So, your ورشة challenge راح تغني لنا كان عندنا طاحونة باي فيروز. نطلعك برا الانجليش شوي. غني عربي.
Sure.
يلا.
كان عنا طاحون عنبا المي قدامه الساحات مزروعة في وجدي كان يطحن بالحي قمحوا سهريات ويبقوا الناس بهالساحات شي معون اكياس شي عربيات رايحين جايين عطول الطريق تهدر غنية يا سهر الليالي يا حلو على بالي غني وغني غني على طرقاتي يا سهر الليالي يا حلو على بالي غني 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 على الطرقات